What if you could learn to use the instrument you have with you right now in a way that it will make you more impactful, more influential, and increase your income? There's an instrument you were born with that you own 100%, is totally yours. Nobody can borrow it, nobody can take it from you. It's exclusively yours. What if you learn to use that instrument wisely in a way that it will improve your impact, make you more influential, and increase your income? I'm sure you're wondering, what is she talking about? What is this instrument? That instrument is your voice. You have a voice. This is your instrument. Through your vocal cords, most of us have a voice. We can hear ourselves. People can listen to us. We can talk. We can express ourselves. But most people do not use this instrument wisely. And because of this, they do not have any influence. Their income is flat and they are not making any impact. I do not want this to be you. And that is why I'm creating this video for you to learn the 5 ways that you can use your voice wisely. This way, you have more impact, you are more influential, and you can increase your income. You can complain all day with your voice about the way things are and how life is so unfair. Or you can make a decision now to use your voice to make impact, influence, and inevitably increase your income. So let's learn the 5 ways that we are going to improve and use our voice wisely. I hope you're ready because I am. Let me have a sip of smoothie. Now, I want to make it so easy for you so that you will not say you don't remember. I want to make it easy so you always remember. So I have 5 principles for you to use your voice wisely. And I'm using the acronym of VOICE. VOICE. That is your voice. So you won't say you've forgotten. You must remember. This channel is a channel for learning. This is our LifeSync journal. My name is Mounfiq Raiyan Abu. I'm your LifeSync expert. And if you have your journal, if you don't have it, reach out to us in the link under this video and we'll send you a journal. You can order yours so you can write down important things that you're learning today. You'll learn about the LifeSync wheel and how you can use it to navigate and synchronize every aspect of your life. And you can also get our LifeSync blueprint book to help you use your voice more intentionally and wisely. So let's get to it. So the first principle starts with the letter V, as in voice, right? So V, you need to verbalize your dreams, your goals, and aspirations. Most of us know what we want to do, but we just know it and we keep it to ourselves. When you give it life, you express it to people you trust, like your mentor, your coach, somebody of influence in your life that can guide you, and you express it first of all to yourself, maybe as a meditation. It will bring it into life. There's a powerful story that I saw online recently where a young bride was doing just got married very recently, in fact, and they were doing the father-daughter dance. And they have a favorite song she and her father love so much. And they decide to play the song. But there was a twist. There was a time when she was 4 years old, when she played that, when her father played that song so both of them could dance together, when she was just 4. And now this is 20 years later. She's 24 this year. And she's having her wedding and she's having the father-daughter dance. But that time she was 4, she verbalized her dreams to her dad. And unconsciously, the father decided to record it. And it became part of their favorite song. And they were dancing to it together. And on her wedding day recently, they played that version where her 4-year-old voice was also in the background of the music. And this 4-year-old, as they were dancing to their favorite song, the father asked her in the audio, attached in the background of the music, now, what would you like to be? What would you like to do when you get older? She said, I would love to have a beautiful wedding. And the little girl was explaining her wedding and how she wants it to be, the kind of dress she'll wear, the people she wants to be there, and all of those things. And her father asked her, who are the people you like to be there? Then she called her best friends. Lo and behold, as they are dancing live at her wedding, these young ladies, she called their names, were physically there at the wedding. Her best friends. Wow. Then her father asked her yet, at 4 years old, and they're listening to this 20 years later as they were dancing at the wedding. And in the audio, he asked her, what will be the name of your husband? And she said, Max. And Max was her actual husband 20 years later. He almost threw his drink on the floor listening to the dance, listening to the song, and have the 4-year-old voice of his now wife saying she's going to marry Max. And guess what? At that point that this little girl was verbalizing her dreams to her dad, she was only 4 years old. She has never met Max. She had her best friends then at 4, and they were still best friends till they are 24. But she has never met Max. And at that time she was 4, she didn't know any Max. She met Max when she was in college, university. Wow, what are the odds? When you verbalize your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations, you give them life. Because us human beings, we are creatures of energy. We attract what we expect. So sometimes the low energy you're experiencing right now is because you are just moody, you are just down, and therefore it will dampen your spirit. But if you try to uplift yourself, you think of something that will uplift you, everything around you will be uplifted. So when you verbalize your dream with your voice, you'll be able to bring it into life. And you'll be able to, everything about you, your activities, your action will be gravitated towards making this dream a reality. I always wanted to be in front of the camera, but more like a newscaster. I dreamt of it. I gave it life to myself. I was afraid to tell other people at then because I grew up with low self-esteem. But I used to sit in front of the mirror and read newspaper articles and look at myself intermittently in front of the mirror. And I had favorite newscasters that I was imitating. Now look at me in front of the mirror, in front of a camera, lights, camera, action. I'm here because I verbalize my dream. So learn to verbalize your dream. That is the first principle. The second principle starts with O, as in the spelling of voice, the next letter in the spelling of voice, and that is optimize your opportunities. A lot of us say we want to achieve a dream. Let's say your dream is to write a book. Then all you do is sit around, not read books, not research, don't practice any writing, don't go to forums where you can see writers or you can see people that have already written, or you can see people that are publishers of books that can show you how you can write your own or coach you. Instead, you just like, oh, I would like to write a book someday. Someday is not a day of the week. Time is precious. It's more important than money, because when you lose time, you can never ever get it back. But when you lose money, you will certainly earn it back if you are willing to put in the work that it entails to do so. But when you lose time, you can put in the work, you can double the work, You can kill yourself like even, but that time you can never ever turn it back. You can never ever get it back. So you need to learn to optimize your opportunities. You need to find yourself and look for the places where that dream of yours, that goal of yours, that aspiration of yours, you need to go to the place where you can manifest it, where you can actualize it. You need to meet people. You need to connect. You need to network. You cannot be somebody that says, oh, I want to be a public speaker, and you always want to be indoors. Like, I am an introvert, but I know I love public speaking so much. So I force myself to go out. So when I tell people I'm an introvert and I'm this expressive in front of the camera, a lot of them do not believe me. But it's absolutely true. I'm an introvert. That's who I am. But I learned to optimize opportunities. Whenever I see places where there are public speakers, I even volunteer to be on those stages so that I can continuously practice and optimize my opportunities. Who knows? The next person that sees me on a stage could take me to the next bigger stage than the one they saw me in the first place. So you need to learn to optimize your opportunities, take chances, take calculated risk. Don't sit on your comfort zone, because that dream, that goal, and that aspiration is outside of your comfort zone. 3, and that starts with the letter I, the third letter of the word voice, and that is intentionally take action on the most important things in your dream, in your goal, in your aspiration. What are the important things in your plan? You want to write a book, for example. One of the important things you should do is write at least a certain number of pages every day, or even 1 page every day. Another important thing you can do is to take action on doing some research about the topic of the book that you want to write, if it's a self-help book. Or, go and ask other authors about how they wrote their book. Do research, go online, do all the work required. That is an important, critical thing to do. Taking action leads you to the results. Action takers are money makers, and action takers are change makers. The difference between where you are right now and where you desire to be is the action that you've not taken yet. Write that down, by the way. The difference between where you are right now and where you desire to be is the action you have not taken yet. So are you ready to intentionally take the necessary action on the important things that will move the needle in your life, in line and aligned with your goal, your dreams, and aspirations? Are you ready to do so? That's the question. The 4th principle now, and that starts with the letter C, as in voice, VOIC. So C is confidently show up everywhere, every day, so that you can achieve your dreams and aspirations and your goals. Confidently show up. Some of us are sleepwalking through life. Let me tell you something. There's a principle of inertia. There's a principle of gravity. There's a principle of attraction. Principle works. That's why I'm giving you principles. Strategies may or may not work. Tactics, it depends on the person. Steps, it's also relative. But principles, regardless of if it's a male or female, if it's Nigeria, if it's America, if it's the United Kingdom, if it's Canada, if it's Zambia, if it's Namibia, if it's anywhere in the world, the principle will work. So whoever it is listening to this video, if you apply these principles I'm giving you, they are going to work. And the principle of inertia states that an object at rest will continuously remain at rest. Now, if you want to achieve a big goal and a big dream or a big aspiration, you need to be active, taking action confidently. You need to be sure of yourself. You need to trust yourself. You need to trust that God that put that dream in you has given you the ability and the capacity to achieve it. You need to trust that and confidently show up everywhere, every day, every time. No hesitation. no procrastination, and no self-sabotaging. Otherwise, you'll remain voiceless. People less competent than you are going to be seen, known, and you're just going to be there in obscurity and mediocrity. You don't want that for yourself. So I strongly encourage you to confidently show up everywhere, every day, every time, if you want your voice to be heard. Then the last one starts with the letter E. The fifth principle to use your voice wisely is, this one is so key. It is so vital. Because when you verbalize your dreams, some people will laugh at you. That's the truth. That's the fact. People will judge, people will critique, people will have opinions. That is life. When you decide to optimize opportunities, you may miss some, you may lose some, you may not even get those opportunities, but you need to keep going in search of them. When you intentionally take action, sometimes you will fall flat on your face, sometimes you will succeed, but you need to consistently keep going. When you confidently show up, sometimes people want to quench your light, people want to dim your light, people want to bring you down, but you need to keep showing up. That is why the last alphabet is encourage yourself when things go wrong or when things fail. Encourage yourself, my sister. Encourage yourself, my friend. Encourage yourself, my brother. Encourage yourself, my trailblazer. You need to encourage yourself. It's so important. Nobody's going to show up for you but you. First and foremost, nobody is going to believe in you until you start believing in yourself. So self-encouragement leads to self-validation and self-actualization. And it improves your self-awareness. And it makes you see who you are more clearly and more with audacity and strength and commitment and boldness. So encourage yourself. I hope you have found these 5 principles very useful today on how to use your voice wisely. If you like this video, please share, like, comment, tell your friends to tell their friends about this channel because there's so many more in store. Stay tuned for our next video, and until then, I will encourage you to stay inspired. Always stay inspired, because the right mindset is the reset you need for success. Take care. My name is Mounfiq Raiyan. I'm your life sync expert. See you again in the next video.